Good morning once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to come up here and say that in a debate, I was going to say this for the sake of the opposition. I was going to say you have to counter points that the proposition has actually brought up. And then the last speaker of the opposition comes up and steals the words right out of my mouth. I feel it is my duty to counter him here. So the very first sentence you said in your first speech was that it is a very lengthy process to take away any policy. And then you came up here and said, I never said that. I never said that. Now, secondly, he came up here and he said that I think, and I quote this. I'm sorry, I had to take it down the second he said it. He said, I assume that I guess that the opposition was going to say this point. And then he brought up a point about, the proposition will say that we don't deserve the burden of all this. We never said that. We said that we accept that the discrimination has existed for n amount of years in the past. Then he said that we are blaming mixed matching upon affirmative action. I'm sorry, I really don't mean to offend anyone, but I didn't know what it was until you came up here and explained it. And since you did such a good job, I can confidently say it doesn't fall under the ambit of the debate at all. Now, what you also said was that diversity in colleges brings about creativity. Now, so what it also brings about is discrimination. If I am in a college by virtue of my merit, and I'm aware of this fact, and I know that these other students have come here by virtue of their accident of birth, which is their caste, their race, their ethnicity. I'm sorry, but as a rational person, I'm not justifying what I'm saying here. I'm not saying it's correct, but I'm saying it is true and it happens, and I can give you examples as my third speaker has done. IIT Delhi is one example, that these people will be discriminated against. Does this policy not strengthen caste-based differences upon this simple fact? Now next, I'd just like to clarify the definition of affirmative action, because there's one gripe I have with the opposition, just personal. They listen to 2 lines of what we said and they begin countering it immediately. They listened to the first part of our definition of affirmative action. They heard the part where we said that affirmative action is a policy of favoring members of a disadvantaged group historically or currently discriminated against. They heard that part. What they refused to listen to was discriminated against on grounds of caste, ethnicity, race and other communal lines. Point out to me which textbook taught you that women are a race, a caste, an ethnicity or a community. Now
30 seconds more.
Next, what they said is that economic differences are affected only by the past. They just disregarded beautifully every single poor Brahmin in the world, every single rich black man in the world, because ladies and gentlemen, in today's society, in 2016, these differences are not the only or even the most prominent factor affecting economic differences. Now let me bring up our actual constructives, not the ones that the opposition made up. Firstly, we said that affirmative action is structurally flawed. Next, we said that it acts as a political incentive. And lastly, we said that it amplifies differences in society. And that is why the proposition it should be.